let's take you on a quick tour of some of the highlights of this year's Sculpture in the Garden show. Joe Bologna has always tried to find the potential of every piece of steel that's ever crossed his path, so that he can combine them together and see what comes up next. Like this garden devil. Beth Hartman, for many years, had been working with fabric in her sculpture, but has in the last 10 years become much sturdier using metal, cement, and plastic. Carol Hathaway has always been building things and loves to work with her hands. After studying at the Crucible in Berkeley, she decided that steel was the direction she wanted to go, and discarded materials were the materials of choice. And she keeps pushing the envelope and stacking the work higher and higher and higher. She's really good at defying gravity. Cindy Landis brings great color to her clay mosaic work in any garden. She certainly has the ability to make her shapes stand out in just about any environment, and her work continues to become more energetic and larger with time. Diana Marquesanis has discovered the technique for taking rigid pieces of steel equipment and parts and turning them into flowing organic shapes. Clayton Thiel has been making sculpture for 40 years. In addition to that, he's been teaching it for 30 years, and his work is very popular. He's well known for his oversized heads, and each head tells a different story. We're glad to have this in the garden. Dustin Gimble is a landscape designer who backed into ceramic art as a lark, and he just has grown into it, so to speak, for the last 10 years. All of his work is extremely organic and absolutely destined for gardens. Ernest and Lois Rich hail from North Carolina, where they established a blacksmithing and woodworking practice. Having been in the Bay Area since 2009, their studio creates one-of-a-kind functional and sculptural pieces with extreme skill and beauty. Eileen FitzWalter has so many talents that you can't list them all, and has worked so much with foam, steel, bronze, and clay, and then concrete. And concrete is where she has stayed for the last many years. She can do anything in concrete, especially making it lightweight. Henriette Ponte is a ceramics teacher. Her pieces stack up to be just perfect for most garden environments. Jeff Owens considers himself a very intuitive sculptor, and he's very skilled at working with steel. Oddly enough, he backed into steel when he found a welder in his father-in-law's garage. And 20 years later, he's been doing it ever since. Leslie Afric is a master of clay craftsmanship. Her sculptures almost always include cats, large cats, not easy to build cats, with plenty of color. They just jump out at you in a garden, and they bring joy to almost everyone that sees them. Roger Heitzman has technical expertise like no other sculptor in this garden. For many, many years, he's mastered the fine art of working with copper and brass and giving them new life as they shine and twirl in kinetic energy. Rosella Scappini, sometimes known as Rocks, has created a spider unlike any spider you've ever seen, using both resin and steel. She's also very skilled at working with clay, plaster, foam, wax, bronze, and just about anything that can be molded. Stan Hunselman started out as a welder in a shipyard. He is also an amateur philosopher and alchemist. He's a master of abstraction, and he's known throughout California for his brightly painted steel with lots of energy and movement, as you see here. Thanks for joining us. Please come and enjoy the sculptures on opening night. It's the summer stroll on July 17th. See you there.